Good morning, 8th graders. My voice is still pretty rough today, but it's better than yesterday, so that's an improvement. So, just bear with me through the video. First thing I want you to do is take out your bell ringer back and actually do this bell ringer. So practice from yesterday. So go ahead and do that. Press pause. When you're ready to look at the answers, press play. Okay, so yesterday we learned about the product rule, which meant that if you have powers that are multiplied, it means you just add the exponents. So our first one here is just x to the sixth. Second one would be y to the second. Your third one, since there's nothing after letter A, it means there's a 1 there. So it'd be a to the third, and then b to the seventh. And then this last one, if we have coefficients, those actually follow multiplication rules and multiply, so it'd be a 10. And then my c would be a 5, and my d would be a 9. All right, so you can now take out your new notes packet. I believe it's blue, so we can take notes for today. All right, so the power rule says that if you have a power raised to an exponent, then you multiply. So yesterday we added, but today we're multiplying. So when I say a power raised to a power, what I'm talking about is this is a power, right? Something with an exponent. And then you'll see that it's got another exponent up here. So it really has two exponents, this one and this one. So if it has two exponents for the same letter, then you multiply them. So this would be x to the sixth. Yesterday when it looked like this, that was x to the fifth power. But this is different than this. All right, so when you go ahead and try those four, pause, and then press play when you're ready to look at the answers. Okay, and then obviously you can use a calculator. You probably will need one today for some of these. So the first one would be a to the 12th, b to the 21st, c to the 32nd, and d to the 45th. Go ahead and try four more, so pause and then press play when you're ready. Okay, so x to the 20th, y to the 18th, z to the 14th, and w to the 24th. Okay. Now these look a little bit different because we have negatives, but the same rules apply to those, right? So remember our negatives and positives rules for multiplying is if they're the same, that's a positive. If they're different, it's a negative. So this one would be a to the negative 10th because I have a negative and a positive. This would be b to the positive 12 because two negatives make a positive when we multiply. This last would be c to the negative 8 because I have one positive, one negative. So go ahead and try these four, and then press pause and press play when you're ready to look at the answers. Okay, so this should be d to the 6th, f to the negative 12th, g to the negative 30th, and h to the 12th. Okay. Now, this one has a coefficient. So remember, a coefficient is a number that's multiplied by a variable. Okay. So this will also be a different rule than it was yesterday. So yesterday when we had a coefficient, it followed the math rules. Numbers will do that as well in the power rule. So what this means is you're still going to take x to the third here and get x to the sixth. But you're also going to take this number to the second power. Now we know when we take numbers to a power, we're multiplying by themselves. So 3 squared is the same thing as 3 times 3. So my answer is 9, x to the sixth power. So you just apply this number to each thing in there. But if it's a coefficient, just a number, you apply the actual math rules to it. You don't just multiply like you do with the exponents. So go ahead and try those. I'll do the first one with you first. So this means I'm taking 2 to the third power and then my x. So 2 to the third power is 2 times 2 times 2. So that's 8. And then it'll be x to the 15th. Because again, I still just multiply them when it comes to the letters exponent. So go ahead and pause and try those other two and press play when you're ready. Okay, this is probably when you're going to need a calculator because 3 to the 5th power, I don't expect you to know 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 off the top of your head. I believe it's 243. I should maybe check though. So 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Oops. Yep. So 243 and then by to the 20th. And then 4 squared means 4 times 4. So 16z to the 6th. Go ahead and try those 3. Press pause when you're ready. Press play. Okay, so I take 7 squared, which is 49, because that's 7 times 7, and then it'd be a to the 20th, because I multiply these. I take 6 to the 3rd power, which I believe is 216. Yep. And then b to the 24th. And then I take 5 to the 3rd power, which I believe is 125. And then c to the 18th. Okay. Now, these look different because we now have more than one inside the parentheses, and that's fine. So I still just do that multiplication thing. So I'm going to take 2 times 5 and 3 times 5. So we get a to the 10th and b to the 15th. This one I'm taking 4 times 2 and 5 times 2. So c to the 8th, d to the 10th. So go ahead and try those 2. Press pause, and when you're ready, press play. Alright, so I'm going to take the 7 times each of those. So a to the 14th, b to the 21st, c to the 28th. In this one, remember there's no exponent, means there's a 1. So I'm taking 6 times 1, 6 times 1 again, and then 6 times 5. All right, and now we have ones where I have coefficients and multiple exponents. So go ahead and try these 2. Press pause when you're ready to see the answers. Press play. Okay, so again, the 3 goes in here as 2 to the 3rd power. And then I multiply these and multiply these. So 2 to the 3rd power is 8, 2 times 2 times 2. And then h to the 9th, j to the 15th. I put the 2 in here for the 4, and then I multiply these and multiply these. So 4 squared is 4 times 4, which is 16. And then I multiply the others, so k12, m8. Okay. So today you have your power rule worksheet. It's just the next worksheet in your packet from yesterday. IXL's due Sunday, I believe. There's just 2 of you that aren't done yet. I think it's Kaden and Camden. So please work on those afterwards. Always when you're done, find something quiet to do that you're allowed to do. Do not be a problem today, or you will not have Movie Monday or Funny Friday for a month. So I'm just going to show you your worksheet quick. Oh boy. So there it is all mixed up. So just make sure you're paying attention if there's coefficients or multiple exponents or negatives. Okay, so you have 22 of them. The sub has an answer key, and so does Mrs. Fesser, so get them checked when you're done. And that's what I know. Have a good weekend. See you Monday.